It is. It's basically saying, like, QuickBooks is not treating these classes as separate, distinct entities
Okay.
in the way that a nonprofit fund accounting system would.
Kathy Ivins, in her book, she brings up a really interesting point, too.
Yeah, and she's coming at it from a really practical standpoint.
Okay.
So she points out that a lot of nonprofits end up spending more on accounting professionals just to try to make the reports work.
That sounds expensive.
Yeah, it is. And it kind of defeats the purpose of choosing a, less expensive software or a more widely used software if you're spending all this money to have somebody come in and try to make it do what it's not supposed to do.
So she's basically saying you end up paying for it one way or another.
You are. And she's really, really clear, too, about QuickBooks Online. She says it is not a solution for nonprofit, period. And she talks about all these workarounds that people are trying to use. Super complicated, super inefficient, and they don't always work. And she's seen it. She sees it all the time.
One of the things that the article mentions, too, is that QuickBooks Online, specifically, you're really limited in the number of ways you can, code things. I think it says you only have, the accountant class, 2 data points. And so for nonprofits who need to be tracking a lot of different things, where the money came from, which program it's going to, all this stuff,
Right.
Why is that a problem?
Well, because nonprofits need to report on more than just 2 things. They need to track, the fund, the program, the functional area, the grant, and all for the same transaction. So with only 2 data points, you're immediately restricted.
So it sounds like you're going to end up doing a lot of tracking and reporting, outside of the system then.
Right. Lots of spreadsheets, lots of manual work, huge risk for errors.
Huge risk for error. Okay, so with, the older desktop versions of QuickBooks Premier, those are going away.
Sunsetting. It's the end of life.
So this article talks about FastFund Accounting.
A purpose-built solution.
A purpose-built solution, yes. Can you talk about, what are some of the key features that really set it apart?
Yeah, I think what's really, really cool about FastFund is, like you said, it was designed from the ground up for nonprofits. So it has a customizable chart of accounts. You can actually track different funds. It has true fund accounting. So each fund is like a separate entity. It's got donor management, stuff for tracking donors and contributions built right in. Yeah, it generates FASB-compliant financial statements right out of the box. It can even help you with the IRS Form 990.
Oh, wow.
Which is a big deal for nonprofits.
Yeah, it's a huge deal.
And it's got other essential features like payroll and cost allocation, which a lot of nonprofits need.
The article has this, really helpful chart.
It does.
That compares FastFund and QuickBooks Online side by side.
Feature by feature. And it really shows you the difference.
It's very clear, when you look at it.
Oh, yeah.
So, right off the bat, it's fund accounting, yes for FastFund, no for QuickBooks Online.
Big one right there.
I mean, that seems to sum it all up right there.
Right. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
If you can't accurately track and report on each individual fund as its own entity, you're already behind.
And then it talks about chart of account segments. FastFund has 6, QuickBooks Online has 1.
Yeah, this is about how much detail you can get into with your chart of accounts. So with 6 segments, a nonprofit can really, really drill down into each transaction, track the fund, the program, the grant, the functional area, all that stuff, which is what you need for really good reporting and analysis. QuickBooks Online, you just get 1 segment.
So that really limits your ability to see the full picture of what's going on financially. And then we get to, actual nonprofit reporting as a feature. Yes for FastFund, no for QuickBooks Online. And I think this is really important to clarify because we're not just talking about, basic balance sheets and income statements.
Visit arrays.com and read the QuickBooks Does It Handle Fund Accounting blog post.